questions or comments from anybody?
Yeah, I have a few questions regarding the financial statement.
All right.
On January 7th, there was a late payment fee for AT&T, and on January 21st, another late payment fee for AT&T. Why are we paying late fees every month for AT&T?
If I don't have the funds in there, I can't print checks. I gotta wait until deposits are made.
Okay, well, it shows here that there's 2 city worker phone lines, 2 police phone lines. Is there anywhere we can cut some phone lines out to bring this bill down? Any?
We've already started cutting the phone now.
Well, that was back in December. The December paperwork showed that two phone lines had been cut out of the plan. So my next item is the Staples invoice. There was $74.55 for candy. Number one, what was this candy for?
Because the mayor told me it worked. For City Hall.
Normally, they usually have a bowl of candy that they have out for the customers that come through.
But City Hall's been shut down for a year.
Well, they do that through the window.
I take serious issue with $74.55 for candy, and it was bought at Staples. Staples has probably got to be one of the last places I would consider buying if I was paying out of my own pocket.
I would have to go to Sam's to get it like that. I can't. Staples sends it to you.
This is just another instance of, to me, it's taxpayer funds.
I'll authorize that, so if you got a problem with it, I'll pay that bill.
I would appreciate you doing it. That's all I have on the finance.
Okay. Anybody else have a question, comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve the financial statement.
Need a second? All in favor?
Nay.
I'll vote yea. All right, we got 2 sets of minutes. We got a regular session for 12/21 and a set of minutes for a regular session January 11th. Do them one at a time or do them both?
We do them separate. For the December 21st, 2020 minutes, Heather added, I want to thank the city clerk for adding where she put the point where the city attorney stated that the grant application was for fund sourcing and did not establish an administrator or engineer for the proposed project. So thanks, Heather, for putting that in the December 21st, 2020 minutes.
Any other comments on it? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve this.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular session for December 21st, 2020 minutes.
Got a motion, need a second? All in favor? All right. Regular session for 1/11.
I make a motion we accept those minutes for January 11th, 2021.
Again, motion, need a second? All in favor?
Aye.
I'll abstain since I wasn't at that meeting.
All right. We have the second reading for bill number 696.
Yes. You want to do a motion and a second for the second reading? All in favor?
Need a motion and a second for the second reading of the bill number 696.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
An ordinance of the City of Morehouse, New Madrid County, Missouri, repealing parts of Ordinance 435 relative to mayor's salary. Now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Aldermen of the City of Morehouse, New Madrid County, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the Board of Aldermen of the City of Morehouse, Missouri does hereby set and affix the salary of the elected municipal mayor of the City of Morehouse to $125 per month. Section 2, Section 1 of the Ordinance 435 setting if he attends the regular monthly meeting of the Board of Aldermen and the monthly of the Boudreaux Regional Planning Commission held in Malden, Missouri. If it fails to attend either meeting, the salary shall be $25 less for each meeting missed is hereby repealed. Section 3, this ordinance does not make any monetary increases or decreases from Ordinance 435. All ordinances or part of ordinances in conflict with the terms of this ordinance are hereby repealed, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after April 2021 election. It was read for the first time on the 11th day of January 2021. It's read the second time and passed, if passed and approved, on the 8th day of February 2021.
Motion for approval.
I'll make a motion that we approve bill number 696.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then we have bill number 697, and this is on the budget. Motion for second reading on it.
I'll make a motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay.
Aye.
An ordinance of the City of Morehouse, New Madrid County, Missouri adopting a budget for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2021 and ending December 31st, 2021. Now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Aldermen of the City of Morehouse, New Madrid County, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the budget estimates of revenue and expenses of conducting the affairs of the City of Morehouse, New Madrid County, Missouri for the ensuing fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2021 and ending December 31st, 2021 are hereby adopted and approved. Section 2, that the sum of $649,500 is hereby appropriated out of the various funds from general, $140,000, road, $50,000, sanitation, $44,000, police department, $94,000, fire department, $21,500, water department, $200,000, sewer, $100,000, totaling $649,500. All ordinances or part of ordinances in conflict herewith are hereby repealed. Read the first time, the 11th day of January 2020. Read the second time on today's date, the 8th day of February 2021.
I'll make a motion that we approve bill number 697.
I'll second.
All in favor? Okay. And does everyone have a copy of the Black Engineers proposal? Any questions concerning this?
Yes, sir.
All right.
You know, you and I spoke on the phone about the leaks down at the housing authority. And you stated that it was an oversight, that Chittenden said that it was an oversight that the abandoned water lines were not capped off. And I'd sent on December 14th this email to you, I addressed it to you, Mr. Mayor, and CC'd the city clerk. And our city employees went down there to repair this leak, and they ended up cutting a new one of the new PEX lines. And that had to be repaired. Well, Loppy, that line was abandoned. That was one of the abandoned lines. It should have been capped and disconnected while they were here when they were doing that. Because all the new water meters down there, those are all new taps. None of the new water meters are fed off of this old 2.5-inch water main. So now, he's wanting to come back and bill the taxpayers of this town an additional $2,984? Is that?
Well, I understand it. This wasn't in the contract. His contract was that he was just to move the meter from where it was located back out to the road. And that's what they went and done. They went in there and moved them, and then they agreed to put in shut-off valves where they pulled the old meters. And the housing authority agreed to buy them. Well, when they were ordered, they didn't get enough meters, enough shut-offs for whatever reason. They either couldn't get them at the time, whatever happened. So they done what they could, and then they marked the others, and left them marked so that way they could be taken care of down the road. But as far as them capping these 2.5-inch lines and stuff, that wasn't in their contract. They was just to move the meter from one location to the other. That had nothing to do with any of the old lines or anything else. They put new lines from that meter to the existing old meter, took the old meter out, put a shut-off valve there, and reconnected the service to each house. That's what they were to do. And that's what they did.
Well,
Am I not correct in that? That's what.
the entire portion of the housing project, the housing authority, that wasn't in the main scope of the project. That was a change order added to the existing project. And in the existing project, there wasn't a separate contract written for the change order at the housing authority. But in the original scope of the town's project, any abandoned lines were to be capped off, disconnected. Once they were disconnected, they were to be either cemented or grouted or plugged. So there wasn't a whole new contract written for the addition of changing to moving the water churns down at the housing authority. That was just a change order to the original contract.
But I'm thinking in the original contract, they were just to come to the housing authority. They weren't even supposed to be on those premises. They just come to it, went back around, and come back out. Anything that was on the housing had nothing to do with the original contract.
You know, they come over here into town, what, 3 or 4 days prior to the 1-year warranty expire. Instead of raising those gate boxes, the valve boxes, they just pack some dirt around them. We still got crooked fire hydrants that they're not plumb. You know, plumb is the minimum design standards for DNR states that all fire hydrants are to be plumb on new projects. We've got fire hydrants that are not plumb. So, just me personally, I think that maybe since the city attorney is here, it's something that she could go over the original contract and see if, since this was added to, this was a change order to that contract, to the scope of work, if they were to have capped those lines off when they were doing it.
So you can look at it. I don't think it's in there, but I'm just saying that that the change order in there was put in there that they were just moving the meters from their location right next to the house back out to the street. That was the change order that we done.
You know, Loppy, it's also in that contract that if they hit a gas line, a water line, a sewer line and damaged it, if they broke it, they fixed it. That's plain as day, black and white in that contract. And they had the audacity to come up here at a meeting and want to get another $38,000 out of the residents of this town. Fortunately, there wasn't a quarrel, but I sat right there in the audience and listened to that meeting. And I heard exactly what they were saying. So, he knew that was in the contract, but it didn't stop him from coming up here and trying to get another $38,000.
Well, I mean, and I don't blame you if you think that we need to get the city attorney to review that. I mean, if we're in our legal rights and it's there, then it's something that we need to pursue. But all I'm saying is that I don't recall it being in there, because that was a change order to begin with. None of the housing authorities was even included in.
Yeah, it wasn't in the original scope.
Yeah.
So the contract would only apply to the original scope of the project. But once that change order was made, you would think that that scope of the contract would apply to all the change orders that was made on it.
Yeah.
It may not, but it darn sure doesn't hurt to find out.
For sure.
Because none of the aldermen at the time even got a copy of the contract. I got the contract because I filed a public records request, and my attorney got it for me.
Okay, so we just need to table that till what research needs to be done to be taken care of.
Thank you.
All right, moving on, the CMO drug task force dues are due in the amount of $100.
I make a motion we pay the Seymour Drug Task Force dues, $100.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. CUSI invoice and amount of $1,500. That's an annual maintenance fee. Yeah.
Make a motion we pass the CUSI invoice for $1,300.
Have a motion on the floor. Need a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Humana County Mayor's Association dues of $100.
Make a motion that we pay the invoice for the Madrid County, Missouri Mayor's Association.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we just got through discussing the vehicles. So if we're gonna do something, now's the time to do it. We discussed about buying the truck from Danny Stidham. Is that what we want to do, and then wait until what the county's gonna do? If it turns out, we'll let Carl check it out. If he says it's something that we can stand, something that'll be good for us. The board wants to be in agreement to that. Once he clears it, then we'll buy it. The board wants to agree to that. Give me a motion to that effect. Anybody?
Make a motion that we allow Carl and Joe to test drive the 2001 Dodge Dakota at Danny's Auto Sales. And if it meets the approval, then I guess we'll come back and, I don't know how to word this, but purchase that for $2,500.
Okay, we've got a motion, need a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, okay. Now, we need to set a date for spring cleanup. Normally, we do this somewhere at the end of April. Usually on a Saturday. Have you talked to him about?
He has
that?
nothing scheduled.
Nothing scheduled, so we're open to select a date. We're gonna do it then on the last Saturday of April is the 24th. Anybody?
April 24th.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying that, you know, if we wanna move back and forth, that's fine too. I just, normally that's about when we always schedule it. Usually by that time of the year, it's warm enough, people get out and clean their yards and get their stuff out there. All right, so 24th, all right with everybody? If it is, give me a motion on that, we'll put that on there.
Make a motion, we advertise for spring cleanup for April 24th, 2021.
Have a motion on the floor, need a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I don't have anything on other business.
Which account do they want the 2,500 coming out of if they purchase that vehicle?
I'm gonna go ahead and just do that out of,
Capital?
capital.
Capital. Okay. Sound good, everybody?
I thought that's what we had, or whatever.
Yeah, capital improvement. So let's motion that so we can give the clerk authorization to make that transfer if this purchase happens, so she can transfer and be able to pay for it.
Make a motion that the $2,500 for the Dodge 2001 Dakota pickup truck come from the capital improvement fund if we make that purchase.
Okay. And that's giving the clerk authorization to transfer. Have a motion on the floor, need a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So, Carl, you got anything come out?
Well, I do.
Joe?
Yes, sir. Last month we talked about this Hawkins Chemical Inc. and Water Group, about the chlorine tank at the water plant. Have any follow-up
Are they
from them?
come back? No? We,
About the high-pressure pump that require, a transfer pump?
yeah. We got hold of them and he said he'd get back with us. And I guess we'll just have to call again, because he's not followed up, but he told us he'd follow up. I know he come down here, I talked to him and the water plant manager talked to him and it sounded like a pretty good deal. I think the only thing, question we had, I don't know what size tank he's talking about, a 300-gallon tank, so I don't know if we can get that large of a tank into that door. I guess if it's empty and got it upright, well, he probably put it in there, but that would have been my only thing. And I know he was questioning about that transfer pump, but I thought, well, he could at least give us a bid on what it's going to cost us for everything else, and then we could ask him about the transfer pump. He's not called back, so let me see if I can follow up tomorrow.
I talked to Ben about that transfer pump. He said it's basically gonna be like the same setup we have now. They'll have one barrel sitting there, and then they'll have the big 300-gallon or whatever size that they put into the plant. The transfer is a chemical transfer pump that'll withstand the chlorine that will pump it from the main tank to the barrel that's on line.
So the barrels below the feeder tubes that pick it up, it transfers from that big tank over to the.
Well, it'll just be a barrel sitting there, and he'll have to have, the way he explained it to me, he'll need that transfer pump to pump it from that barrel to a 55-gallon barrel that's on the
steers.
Okay.
And it's probably higher because it's a chlorine rated pump. I know the pumps we're using now are not chlorine rated.
We're reading them up.
6 months to a year, they're getting heat up. So I mean, I would look at the guarantee on the pump and the warranty as far as their life.
Okay. So
I'll call tomorrow again and see what he can tell us on.
All right. I had that, the minutes from that public hearing is, you know, that, Mitzi Dell requested a copy of them be sent to her from the minutes from the November 19th public hearing. Those minutes need to be approved by the board?
She told me not to take minutes for the public hearing, that she does that. So that would be in her records.
Well, in the email from her, or in that checklist that we got, she requested that you sent her meeting minutes.
And I responded to her that she told me not to take minutes, that she would do it.
Can you provide a copy of those minutes to the board? Can you get a
I
copy of
don't
those?
have, I can
Can
see
you
if
get
she
a-
has some.
Yes, can you please get a copy of those minutes from Mitzi and provide them to the board? I brought up a couple months back the trailer on 114. Chief Hayes stated that he would send the owner a letter. What's the status on that?
I think it's ready for y'all to send the condemnation and get rid of it.
Okay. Yeah, so you say there's nothing has been done to that trailer, and it's,
The one that, just tell him that we ain't done that within 30 days that we're gonna tear it down. And that, the only problem with that is that we got, if we tell them that, 30 days to get here, we gotta be able to do that. And so, you know, that's what the recourse is, and we're gonna have to get hold of the county. C.L. Garrettberry told me one time that he'd come over and help us, but the last time I talked to him, his unit was down, so he wasn't able to help. And the county's come in since then, so I'll have to get hold of him again, but we'll get him a letter and tell him, hey.
I think that he needs to be issued a ticket.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The roof's, you know, where that car went through it, there's 2x4s, and I think that thing got hit by a car in 2014.
Yeah.
And there's 2x4s that are bowed and rotten, and the whole end of that trailer, the roof's bowed down, it's gonna fall. So yeah, I mean, he's had plenty of time. I think he needs to be issued a ticket, personally. My next order of business is a police report. The board's not gotten a police report in a year. Used to, every month, the Board of Aldermen was given a police report, and the board approved, made a motion to approve, it was seconded, and it passed it, just to approve it. It's just it's a formality. Why do we no longer get a police report?
Because we don't meet the criteria. We don't accept money. We don't deal with money.
Hang on, I'm talking about
The
a police.
ordinance, it's a transfer of money is what the police report is. We deal with no money.
Well, for years, this board received monthly a list of the date, the ticket number, and what the violation was for.
That was a ticket law.
Well, why have we not gotten a ticket law? Why do we no longer get a ticket law?
Because it's not the ordinance. The ordinance calls for a report of the money that we deal with and handle. We don't handle any money anymore.
Because I know I've sent numerous times emails to you, emails to the city clerk, requesting how many tickets are written a month. And no one can give me an answer.
It varies.
Well, I'll make a motion, and we can try to get an ordinance written up where monthly we get a list of how many tickets are written. I don't care who they're written to, but how many tickets are written each month. If it's 1, fine. If it's 8, fine. But so that the board knows how many tickets are being written.
No spell one.
I'd like to make a proposed motion that we draw up an ordinance that the board is given a monthly ticket log to be submitted to the Board of Aldermen for approval.
How you gonna approve tickets for your group?
I've got a motion on the
That's
floor,
what the
Jackie.
judges will.
I'm not wanting to approve tickets, Jackie. I'm wanting to approve a list for months, for years. It was submitted to this board. What changed?
Because what we were doing didn't meet the criteria of the ordinance. The ordinance was wrote for 1950, when the police department made bank runs and stuff like that.
Can I shed some light?
Yes, ma'am, please do.
I know that when I sat as municipal judge here, I believe Gina would provide a copy of my docket, and that would show the tickets that were disposed of, and that is maybe how you all kept a more accurate accounting of the tickets that were coming through as they were disposed of per month. Since COVID hit, I understand you guys haven't had that because we haven't been able to be in court, but that is how I believe Gina kept the board apprised of how tickets were being disposed of. Now, that doesn't give you an answer to the tickets that were written, but any tickets that were written must show up on that docket. So to me, that would be a little extra work on the police department, or if you're already going to be getting it in the report of a docket anyway, just shedding some light.
Understood. I just know for years in past that each month the Board of Aldermen was given, it was just a basic template. It was the date the ticket was written, it was the ticket number, it was the issuing officer. It used to state who the ticket was written to, and then Chief Hayes stated that.
Let me rephrase.
Hang on, excuse me just a second.
Some of
Chief
them ran
Hayes stated
into
that.
sunshine law violations because they hadn't been approved by the prosecutor or the court yet.
Okay.
That's the
Once
reason
there's-
that will stop.
They do not become public knowledge until it's signed by the prosecutor. Because once the ticket's written by the officer and handed to the prosecutor has discretion as to whether or not they're to file that charge or dismiss that charge.
Correct. As I was stating, it used to give the person's name. Then it removed, the person's name was no longer there because the reasons you two just stated. Well, then it just got to where the board never got anything at all.
And the board didn't get anything at all after that because it's repetitious. What we was turning in was the exact same thing the court was turning in. So you're still getting cut.
In other words, this
All
report,
tickets.
he'll be able to get, as soon as we get the court going to the clerk, court clerk.
Yeah, the court's
Okay.
reporting the exact same thing we're going to report. Except they're going to have more detail, they'll be able to release more detail than what we're going to be able to in those reports. Because we can't, our detail's going to be limited until one, she signs the tickets or they've been processed.
Once they come out through the court clerk, then we don't have to worry about sunshine law.
Right.
Once they're signed by the prosecutor, it becomes public.
What else you got?
Sewer jetter status. Did they come pick that up?
Yeah, they did. I haven't heard nothing from it, and I don't know if Bowles heard anything. They haven't called the office or anything. I'm sure once it gets fixed, they're gonna wanna get paid, so.
Bo did not give them the instruction manual or the key to it. So I took that to the UPS store Friday, Thursday or Friday, and sent that off. It was supposed to be overnighted, so they should have it.
But they, you know, when you'd phoned me, Pete, about sending the estimate again, and we talked, since that estimate was 6 months old, did they submit, did the city clerk request a new quote?
They didn't say anything whenever we talked to them about any increase in price. I don't think that we got anything in writing from them, but for granted when I talked to him that that's gonna be the same as voted, so. Are you done?
Yeah, I mean, I made a motion a while ago. There was no second, so I guess we moved on.
Well, it's died to the lack of second.
Are we still on pace for the Wayne Street Bridge project starting and getting going and all that?
As far as I know, we are.
They was surveyed last week, did a lot of work with it.
Okay. In the past, I know the board has been supplied different times an employee handbook to look over, make any revisions. I sent some revisions back. I haven't heard anything back. I don't know if we're going to pursue that. I don't know what's the status of that.
We just haven't brought it back up. I don't know if those have been entered into that, but it's not been forgotten. But, we just haven't got it back together yet.
That's all I got.
Chris?
I still think that we need to do the forgiving the late fees on the water bills and the taxes while everybody's getting their stimulus checks and taxes back, so we can try to generate revenue.
My only thing there is how would we get to the public, especially like on taxes? We've got a lot of people that don't live in town, they don't property there.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, if they come in and pay their late, or if they come in and pay their taxes, their
Just
back due
automatic.
taxes or their outstanding water bill, then we waive the fees. Don't think it would matter who. I mean, we could mail them a letter, I guess, I don't know.
Well, I see what you're saying.
Are you planning to do that kind of like, just like a grace period due to the pandemic type thing?
That and, yeah,
I think it would be wise to spell it out as to the reason why you're doing it instead of opening a floodgate where individuals may expect you to do that every year.
I mean, with the water, we can still shut their water off if they don't pay.
But as far as the taxes, the county handles our taxes now, so.
The current ones, right?
Yeah.
Do they have our old ones?
They had from 18 to current.
So you're saying previous to 18?
Yeah, we could get them to come in, no problem. You get with the collector, you can come up with an idea. Yeah, we can.
Would you help us write a motion so we can get that and it be right?
Sure.
So we don't completely waive all the late fees forever?
From the habit of what it's
As long as we have it by then, I think.
Just put on the agenda for next one.
yeah.
That was it.
Good. Jack?
I did.
Okay.
So I was approached the other day, and Haytide Fire Department has got a new ladder truck. They've got a current one that's through the Conservation Department. They asked if we'd be interested in it. Somebody to report and everything. It's a free ladder truck with the Conservation, kind of like what the tanker was back when we had it. It's a 1980 model. It's older, but it's passed pump testing and it's passed ladder testing every year, he said. And he said it is current on both pump testing and ladder testing on the certifications. As far as maintenance on that, It'd be the same pump testing, roughly $350, I think is what it is per pump. And then the ladder testing is $650, so we're looking at $1,000 a year for pump testing and aerial maintenance, or ladder testing. It was kind of shot about that we were to add it to the insurance. I talked to them, they said, yeah, like an extra $400 something if it was added. If we took the ambulance off and basically traded it out, they said there wouldn't be a premium change at all, as long as we kept it insured for around that $15,000. I guess the question is it something that we can do and have? It'd be an extra pump if one was to go down like Engine 2 did a while back. It'd be an extra pump that we had, so we wouldn't be down a truck. And then we're adding a ladder. It's 85 foot, so it would actually be the tallest ladder in our area, our region, this area. Sykeston's ladder is only 78 feet, so this is 85. I think it would be a good benefit to the department and the city and surrounding area if we had it. Just my thoughts.
Question, this is a full-size truck, correct?
Yes, sir.
What we're gonna house it?
It's big enough. I mean, we got a station big enough to house it, so if we,
I thought your station was full.
well, if we trade it out for the ambulance, get rid of the ambulance or whatever, then we can place the ladder where Engine 2 sits, move it over, and have the rescue truck in between the two pieces of apparatus.
Can the ambulance be used as a city truck?
It might be able to. The other thing was with that, and I want to throw something out there while y'all were talking about the city truck or whatever. But it was kind of brought up because we were talking about it. I was at work when the proposal was given to me. And so like the ambulance, we did get rid of the ambulance, and we could donate it to Sykeston for the technical rescue team so their people would have something to go back and forth to call their training. Maybe seeing if the city of Sykeston would donate one of their surplus trucks in return to the city as a public works vehicle. I know he talked about the 1 ton, I think it is, something like that with a flat bed on it. I'm not sure exactly if they're surplus or what, but there's 2 pickup trucks sitting up front by the city shop that are outside 2 cop cars. I know they're surplus in the cop cars, so there may be a chance they're 4-door half-ton pickups. Maybe a chance of maybe getting something like that. There's no promises. I can't promise anything. All I can do is ask. But I mean, it's just an ideal thing.
Question, how many vehicles does the fire department have right now?
Currently, that's ours. We have 2 engines, the ambulance, the rescue truck, and a brush truck. And the tanker's owned by the fire district. So 5.
But you're talking about just getting rid of the ambulance. Can you help me through that? I guess I'm thinking we got so many vehicles and then the insurance, you know, that keeps going on and on and on. If that's strictly up to the board, I just thinking we were talking budgets, so. And I can understand where you're coming from. I can understand wanting that thing.
Right.
We can swap it out for one of their surplus trucks, and it only cost us $1,000 a year for that.
Pump testing is roughly $350 if I remember correctly. And then I talked to the guys that do ladder testing and for the aerial portion of the ladder, and it's $650.
And the insurance will be the same.
As long as it's insured for I think we've got like either 12,000 or 15,000 on that ambulance. So as long as it's insured the same, she said it wouldn't change.
So $1,000 a year would be cheaper than trying to buy a $15,000
That
diesel.
surplus truck you're talking about, is that something that their city boys can?
Yeah, that's what they were.
Yeah,
They were street trucks over there.
Like I said, and that, I can ask them, there's no guarantee on that. It's just something I was kind of trying to put something together, same time, let's get rid of an ambulance. then, you know, if the tech rescue team over there could use it in return, them donate a truck to the city for, you know, public works guys.
Do you guys have to get a ladder certified?
But you can teach all that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I've been to the aerial maintenance technician class and stuff, been working on stuff.
Pumps cost $350 a piece, you know, and the $650 was
The aerial wire stuff. Basically, what they do with it, they set it up, extend it out, they put a certain amount of weight on it, and then they measure it, and then after it sits for a while, they see if the cylinder's dropping at all, if it's got any drop or big twist or anything, just to make sure that it's basically safe for someone to be actually doing a rescue. With any nature, so. And like I said, it is not, I mean, even if you approve it tonight, I still gotta go through the conservation. It was just, HATI contacted and said, hey, you know, we've got this ladder truck, rather than send it back to Lebanon, we'd like to keep it in our area, would you want it? So they would have to contact Lebanon and say, hey, you know, we got another department that's wanting it, rather than shipping it back to y'all at Lebanon, can we just transfer ownership over to Morehouse, and we'd sign the papers with the conservation department, like we did the tanker truck.
Would that start in the new program, or would it stay under the old program?
I don't know. I don't know if it'd be on the 5-year plan where after 5 years was ours, or it's still on the old program. I don't know. That'd be a question to just ask.
And Des would be interested in,
Swapping ambulance.
yeah, that ambulance, for sure. You can check, see what comes up with that, because if we get rid of the ambulance, that's gonna save us on the insurance, I guess, what offset.
Also, it's a different, right?
Yeah.
Also,
If we can make that trade and grab that truck too, that will go out.
That ambulance looks like a good vehicle, but when I'm on a scene, I've got a medical call, and that thing comes by, and I've got to argue with the people that that's not the ambulance. I mean, it is a little confusing.
We need a city truck right now.
What y'all think?
I mean, I guess the only thing, if you kept the ambulance, if they didn't trade, you can just strip all the stickers off and make it a white vehicle. I mean, I don't know. It's just an option. I don't know.
Could be inside of that.
Toolbox built in.
Yeah, they could store tools and valves and stuff and all looking for.
Wanting to pursue getting that truck?
I think we need to see if we can do the swap first.
If we can do the swap,
Because it's adding $1,000 in testing costs.
yeah.
But if it offsets us buying another truck,
Yeah, but
Oh,
if it keeps
that's
you buying another truck,
that'd
it's
be great.
Understood.
Yeah,
we can afford it.
yeah, if we can make a swap, I think we can work it
I
out.
will say that, and I'm getting in the middle of all this, but if Buckeyes are called fire with all the batteries that they showed, would be nice to have a ladder just to reach over. I mean, granted, Level Sykeston's just neighboring, but
Between that and then we got several large churches.
DGA and everything.
DGA, yeah, in our district. The other thing, we've got, and they asked us to, we got an automatic mutual aid contract with Sykeston now. So, you know, any working structure fire, they've been calling us in to help. They were excited about it, us getting it, it's just an extra ladder in our area.
Well, who needs to talk to who about the swap?
I don't know, that was my next approach, just to see.
Is that something that you're gonna do, is that something that we need?
I can talk to them and just see, I don't know how I'm gonna approach that, but I can approach my chief over there and say, hey, you know, this is kind of an option, and then go before the city council there, or what, I'm not sure how to do that.
Well, ask your chief, see what he says, and we'll go from there. I think we're really interested if we can make a swap.
Uh,
I just don't want to see a free ladder truck.
No.
Yep,
you think we
get on also.
negotiate the fire district to taking care of the ladder service, since it would be used for commission funds also?
If everybody agrees with that, we can make a swap, we'll go with it.
Yeah, swap for me, man.
They might be in the district but also.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
If you can make the swap, and we got the truck too, we'll do it, but let us know what you do, and then if we have to get ourselves in a special session for whatever, we can do that. Is that all you got?
Yeah, well, other than the part for the rescue truck, that's the only other, the department bought that. It was like $500 and we paid for it. It should be here, it's being shipped out tomorrow, so it should be here this week.
That's the one Tim's working on, so it wasn't that 3,500?
That was a PCM module
Awesome,
and $555, $57.
awesome.
Hopefully it's here within a week till we have it. We was hoping to have it here sooner. With this weather coming, we had the truck, but maybe a little late. So, other than that, everything's going well.
All right, take a motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Carl, you,